If you've accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and you have a relationship with God, you don't need to debate or convince anyone about how real God is. Because I'll tell you this, nobody can convince me and tell me that he ain't real. I know what he brought me up out of. I know the depression and the darkness that I was in. I know how I was locked inside of my own mind and I didn't even know where I was. And being locked inside of my own mind when I'm operating in darkness and I'm not in alignment, it's a very, very scary place. And when I tell you God tapped on my shoulder and reminded me that he was still with me, and he said, I'm still here. Those three words I will never forget. I will never forget that moment. I will never forget how I felt. And I will never forget how God resuscitated me and told me, I'm still here. I was revived and I was just praising the Lord. There's been many times when God showed up in my life and I said, that was nobody but God. Right. So I don't need to convince anyone or debate anyone about who God is or who God isn't. People who want to continue to walk in darkness, you're just going to have to allow them to stay there and you continue to walk the path that God has you on. Because when it comes to having a relationship with God, once you have a true encounter with him, and once God speaks to your spirit and taps you with his love and his power, there's no debating that. And anyone who have not had an encounter with God, they won't understand where you're coming from anyway. You just need to stop debating with people and start arguing with people about who God is. You live your life and let your life be the example. You just continue to stay in alignment, focus on the good that's around you, and be a blessing to those who's receptive to the message.